Salini Impregilo is a global construction company based in Milan. It is involved in projects such as the Panama Canal expansion and building an underground system for Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia. Last year it made revenues of €4 billion. In 2012, Pietro Salini, the company's chief executive, won what has been called Italy's first real proxy fight, when shareholders voted to merge his family construction company with Italian builder Impregilo, against the wishes of its powerful family owners. He joins me today to discuss the group's plans. Mr. Salini, thank you very much indeed for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
At the time of the takeover, it was seen as a very big thing that you managed to win out against not just the Gavio family, but also Mediobanca, the powerful Milan investment bank. Do you think that the outcome of the takeover battle showed that doing business in Italy has changed?
Well, this is one of the perspectives that you can look at that. The other one is that we had good ideas and that the shareholders supported us in that sense. So change, it is important in Italy, but is also not only related to what they call the economy of relationship. We offer different solutions for the future of a company. There were a company which was not only listed but also public, in the sense that the people in power did not own such a stake in order to have the majority of the shareholder assembly, and we could succeed in overcoming this group and establishing ourselves into the board of directors. That changes a lot.
But it certainly is true that in the past, much of Italian business has been based on the business of relationships. Do you think that is changing?
This is changing because Italy is not anymore the center of the world, in the sense that for that type of business, the relationship between each other was very important, because it was a market that was a secluded market. Now that we are globally competing around other companies around the world, and the success is not anymore determined by the relationship you can have with that or that one, but it must be based on the fact that you are effectively competitive and competent.
At the time of the takeover, you said that one of the reasons for it was that it was to make you more globally competitive with rivals such as Vinci of France or Skanska. How has that played itself out so far? Are you seeing the results of that?
Oh, we did. This year, when we started to work together with Impregilo and put the two companies together, even before the merging, we succeeded in obtaining around 8.5 billion of new contracts for the company. That means that our ability to have a global platform coming from 50 countries did change completely the possibility of the company to be successful.
Only 13% of your revenues are currently earned in Italy. Do you see possibilities for domestic expansion within the country, or do you see all your growth opportunities abroad?
We think that percentage will shrink a little bit in the next 4 years. We do not consider that Italy will launch much important program of infrastructure in the next 4 years, not at least in order to influence our business plan in that sense. So we think that our growth should come from other areas of the world.
How optimistic are you about Matteo Renzi and the reforms that he wants to introduce into Italy?
Well, the reforms in Italy, everybody agrees that are badly needed and they are longly awaited. So now there is a big sentiment about the change that we all need in some very strategic point, like the reform of the decision in the parliament, the reform for the labor, the reform for the voting system. So there are things that can change Italy. I feel that there is a completely change in the sentiment of the Italian entrepreneur, in the sense that just 6 months ago there were a sentiment about our growth, our future was much darker than the one that we feel now.
Is there one thing that he could do that would make a difference to your business?
Well, of course, having a base in Italy, even if we make such a small part of our turnover in Italy, having a base in Italy is very important for us. A certain number of issues like justice, like the reform of labor, like the school, which was one of the first items that Matteo Renzi addressed too, because of course people for us is the biggest asset, and the quality of the people that we may found on the market is very important. So I think that this first move that he made are going to the right direction.
Mr. Salini, thank you very much for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you.